Greetings, sacred souls, ancient beings. Welcome to another episode of A Spiritual Joint, where we talk about all things spiritual, and that's just about everything. So just wanted to take a quick little minute to talk about something that has been floating through the air for last couple of days, or maybe about a week or so. A lot of the people on the conscious plane in the conscious community have been talking about this 1111 portal. And while this is an actual event, it's when you have more capability of being able to connect, communicate easier during these times. Manifestation rises and things are easier to come to pass. But a couple of things are not exactly in the place that they should be, because this is the month that most people call November. And most of you may know, well, some of you may know that, the prefix or the first part of the word is NOV, which would be, for those of you who deal with a lot of languages, that is like nueve in Spanish, nove in Portuguese, which is a 9. Not an 11. And the reason for that is previous times when calendars were created, when calendars were in the midst of being created. Initially, we were following the actual seasons that go with the planet, the cyclical happenings that go along with the planet and move things along, so that you have spring, which is the new year, not December, but that's another story. Then you have summer, and you have autumn, then you have winter, and then the cycle repeats. Initially, the spring equinox was the marker for the new year, and that was when we had the first month, which is why we have this change of root word, precursor letters, starting with September, because September, SEPT, is a 7. So September is actually, should be the 7th month. October, OCT, OCT, for 8. October is the 8th month. NOV, November, for the 9th month. December is the 10th month. If you think of decade, and decimal is tenths. So these things are skewed or offline or out of the correct placement because of things that were changed before many people even remember. Initially, the calendars were, in part, were stolen, borrowed by the conquerors of the known world at the time, Greeks and Romans, and all of the infighting and politics that was going on at the time. So at the Julian calendar, named after Julius Caesar, was the calendar in place at the time, and due to the precession of equinoxes, which is related to the wobble or the turning of the earth on its axis, which is slightly tilted, and based on the difference between lunar calendars and solar calendars, and taking all of those things into effect, the actual dates were so far from where they should have been, even far away from where they should have been with the alignment with the solstice and the equinox, the solstice, the equini. So Pope Gregory decided that he was going to make a change to make sure that the days that they celebrated for ceremonial and other purposes were in more alignment. So one day it was, I believe, around the 1st of March, and then he said we're changing it tomorrow, and the next day became like the 15th of March. So 15 days just were changed at that time. And also prior to that, Julius Caesar, due to the fact that he wanted to incorporate certain of their gods into the calendar, he changed the beginning of the year from March, which is the usual time, which aligns with the spring equinox, changed it back to January to align it with their two-faced god Janus. So that is why March is the 3rd month as opposed to the 1st month, and no longer in alignment with the spring equinox, which is why September, October, November, and December, even though they are the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th months, they have been changed to the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th month. But if you are actually going by the original moon calendar, there are 13 moons in a year, which accounts for why sometimes we have these pretty little names we call the moons. We have black moons and blue moons. Blue moons are, I think it's two full moons within their 30 days, and a black moon is 2 new moons in their 30-day cycle, because the moon cycle is actually more about a 28-day cycle, but because we are moving with the 12 and the 60 instead of the 13 and the 52, got things different. But I digressed so far from what I was wanting to talk about, and just really wanted to bring to mind that the 1111 portal has not occurred. The true 1111 portal has not occurred yet. We are in actually the 9th month, the 9th month, and if following the actual moon calendars, the first day of the month would be the new moon, so they would coincide with the cycles of the moon. So this is actually around the 14th day of the 9th month, as opposed to the 12th day of the 11th month. So we passed the 9/9 portal a while, 5 days ago, and there will be another 9/9 portal, which will be on the actual 18th day which will coincide with the 16th date of November and the 11th day of the Trecena. So that will be a special day. So we got about 4 days until that comes to pass, and then we will have another 9 portal day, which will be on the 25th of November. So just some things to keep in mind that, and the reason that the manifestation does work on some levels is because the intent of so many people is so connected to, so tied to the fact that this is what the day is. This is, so much energy is going into that it creates a frequency of that understanding, of that belief, which is why some of those things still do happen. But if we were to get back into alignment with the cycles and seasons and times of the original, just imagine how much more powerful it would be for us, how much more mastery, how much more creative potentialities we would have if we were in cycle. So we'll get on and we'll have another we'll have a reading for that day so that we can talk about what will be coming to pass for this portal. And so now we are in this great retrograde season because Jupiter just went retrograde, so we've got 5 planets in retrograde right now, so a lot of introspection will be going on. So that's what we have for today, and we'll be back soon. Peace.